Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When Leonard Williams was picked in the 2015 NFL Draft, I compared him to Merlin Olsen, and I got a lot of grief about it. Did you just see that play there? Did you see how he made that move and made that tackle? That was Merlin Olsen-esque there.
I just perked up when you said Merlin Olsen.
Yeah, a lot of people said, hey, that's too much, too far, and maybe it is early, but I think this guy has a chance of fulfilling that.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a carry for Perine. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. But look now at the starters for the Giants defensively. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game. And I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan, players executing it. Now both of them are in sync.
Now Pirine. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
To throw on 3rd down, Stafford, and this is going to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
1st down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And down inside the 15 he goes.
Pass interference. Defense.
So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he's going to bull his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks, because then the defense has the advantage.
A solid stiff arm. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And who's got it? The Giants.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A handoff to Barkley. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Detroit. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And shedding him off, now open field. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turned into a heck of a DB, though, partner.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
He looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out now come the Lions. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
The numbers for P. Ryan at last week's game, 15 carries, 53 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for New York. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him to dinner either.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And they're not going to get a playoff here as time will expire on this first quarter. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Here's Pirine. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. This field general once more leading his offense back onto the field. His side, they've got the lead, but I think he's not happy with how he's played. That's the bottom line. But how many adjustments need to be made when, bottom line, you're winning?
Yeah, you're just trying to play better for yourself, because if you do, then you've got a chance to increase your lead, and your team will play better. Look, when you fight your internal battle as a quarterback and you're not playing as well as you want to, just fall back on the old cliche. There's no I in team, but there's definitely one in win.
Look at that, Davis. Yeah, no I in team, but he'll see if he can pick himself up a little bit here on this drive.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw here. He's going to walk one deep left side, and he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6, and the Giants add on to their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Pirine, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford on first down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And this will get him all the way inside the Giants' 10. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense going.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Samaje Perine and the offense heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On second down, here's Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Stafford now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a second down. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. Here's Stafford now on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. On third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion. Kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw here. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken around the 12.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down, Stafford. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Well, as an offense, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess him there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all.
Went in the wrong direction. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just about on his own goal line. Pulled in at the 24. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And in the second quarter, it's the Redskins who are out in front. Mitchell Trubisky has thrown a touchdown pass there. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. Demarcus Robinson, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NYG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. The Texans trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go.
They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Rosas to add the extra point.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Rosas now to add the PAT. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now it's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run again with P-Ryan. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays, nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 9.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
The Giants on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, here's Pirine. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
And he fields it cleanly. Gets around him. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. Mitch Trubisky, 2 touchdown passes thus far. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So he got 3 at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st down, Stafford here. Looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Play action. Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest, you can draft the most athletic guys, but if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. The Giants on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. To the air again, Stafford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Leonard Williams able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Here we go now.
Barkley. Had a nice broken tackle and then brought down right around the 20. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here. He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 corners, no reason to lighten up now. Now it's Barkley, and not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over, and he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On first down at Stanford. Throw left side complete. It's Rodgers. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags.
Personal foul.
This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. They'll run with Barkley. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Checking in on Houston, it's in the 4th quarter there. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a first down throw. Stafford finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, it's Stafford. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. New York set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Barkley. Got some room at the 30, and finally taken down at the 36-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Barkley. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And a gain there of 11 yards. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
On 2nd down, Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Giants, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the LA Rams. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.